Hi everybody, I'm Eb, daughter of the late hip-hop legend and visionary Eazy E, here chatting with Jam Productions LA. I have a lot of fond memories with my father. You know, I lived with him. I spent a lot of time with him in the studio. I know that's hard to believe, but I did, at his office, at Ruthless Records. Just him coming home, him being really playful, just really playful. Those are things I remember. And the biggest memory I think I have is my 4th birthday party, which was the last one that I shared with him, and that was pretty huge. That was like equivalent to a sweet 16 for a 4-year-old, and just had a lot of fun with him. Those are things I can remember. My music is completely opposite from my dad's. I'm not a rapper, I am a singer. I do pop music, but I have a lot of hip hop influence in my music. I think when people hear that Eazy E's daughter does music or she's an artist, they automatically assume I'm going to be like Nicki Minaj or something like breakout rapping, or just really maybe even a little more hardcore just because my father is the godfather of gangster rap, you know? But I am, once again, completely opposite. I mean, I'm a girl. I did grow up in a different city than my dad did, just raised completely different. So definitely let him, he's straight out of Compton. I'm straight out of Calabasas. So I think that my music reflects that. You know, I grew up listening to different music, Avril Lavigne's, Britney Spears. I'm sure he wasn't listening to that. Both of my parents are actually in the music business, like my father being a businessman and an artist and my mother being a music manager. Even after my father's passing, I still grew up in the business around all the big rappers and just staying around music. And you know, I have a big musical background on my mother's side. Actually, people don't know that. They think that my musical talents came from my dad's side, but it really came from my mom's. And I think that I always knew that I would be in the entertainment business. I mean, it's just second nature to me. You know, I think my dad got a lot of credit that was due to him from straight out of Compton. I'm glad that this film came out and people, especially in my generation, gets to see who Eazy E is, what all he did, and what he made possible, and how he paved the way, and all that. To be honest, there were some things that were left out. Even like when Dre and Cube left him, you know, they show him kind of like down and out and a little depressed and just like sick, and it was kind of strange because that's definitely not what was going on. You know, they missed the whole beef between him and Dre, him discovering Bone Thugs and Harmony, which is one of the greatest groups of all time. So many of his accomplishments were left out of this film. This movie, it's funny watching it, was kind of trippy, but watching Jason Mitchell, I mean, he did such a good job. And you know, my father passing when I was 4 and me just spending the last 20 years hearing stories about him from family to business associates and artists and just friends and everybody, really what I imagined my dad to be, I felt like I watched Jason channel that, and that was absolutely incredible. You know, the personality, the demeanor, everything really shined through, so it's pretty cool. I definitely anticipated on Straight Outta Compton being a phenomenal hit. I mean, 60 million opening weekend, I know that was like kind of record-breaking for a biopic. I thought it would do even better, to be honest. I mean, I had high expectations for this. I knew it was going to be golden, and it's really exciting. You know, it hasn't even hit everywhere yet, and we've already hit over the $100 million mark.